Yeah, we have started recording. Again, I'm letting you know that whatever we are speaking about here is being recorded. Now, the thing that I'm going to discuss here, I'm recording it because some of you are not in the class and they might wonder like what was being discussed in the class. Now, can you see that if you select ignore think time from runtime settings, right? If you look at your script, in the script you have in between your transaction you need to put a think time, and this think time we have put 10 seconds. Now let me go to the runtime settings and tell you what it is actually doing. Now if you select think time, ignore think time, your think time will not be replayed. That means it will not think. Where you have think time, it will not think, right? Then if you select replay think time as recorded, let me uncheck this. If you select replay think time as recorded, that means let's say in your script you have 10-second think time. It will be waiting. Let me show you. Let me put a breakpoint here, right? And let me do an execution. Now can you see we have a think time here, it is waiting. Can you see it is playing and it has waited. Can you see up there LR think time, it has waited how many seconds?
10 seconds.
10 seconds, right? I'll let you know that the other think time that we have. Can you see after login we have another think time here in line number 53. The previous think time that was replayed was from line number what? Was from line number, let me show you. The previous think time that we replayed, it was from line number 26. Actually line number 28. Can you see in line number 28 we have a think time. It waited 10 seconds over there. Now we have another think time here in line number 53. Now I am not, can you see I am still waiting. I am not running this line. Means this line we didn't execute it yet. Now how will I execute this line? I will click on this down arrow. Now can you see it is again, if you look at it is waiting for 10 seconds. Can you see it is waiting for that think time? Can you see everything is, I cannot do anything. That means it waited for 10 seconds. Right? If you now execute it, you will see it will be waiting 10 seconds everywhere where you have think time. Can you see? Now you have clicked on flights. Now it is waiting here in the flight. Can you see? And then it will be waiting here another 10 seconds. And wherever you have think time, it will be replaying those think time. Right? It is replaying your think time. And then finally it is logging out. Now can anyone tell me why we need to insert a think time in between the transactions?
To bring the more, realistic scenario.
To make our script, like to make our actions, the actions that our script is performing, to make those actions realistic. So what do you mean by realistic action, right? So if you see here, so I'm clicking continue, and then before I do anything else, I'm taking a little bit breath, and then I do something. Okay, flights. So before I clicking on continue, I need to select these options. I need to select date. I need to do some task here, right? I need to select where. So after doing all of these things, I click continue. That's why we are making this, like when we are doing something by our script, we try to make it as realistic as possible. So that's why in our script, if you take a look, in between every transactions we are putting a think time. Now let me go to that runtime settings up there. Now replay think time as recorded. So if you do that, again it will whatever think time you are inputting in your script, it will be replaying that think time exactly. Now if what is the question, Shahid bhai?
It was thing like more 159 seconds. So that is what is being recorded, right?
Yeah. Now if you select replay think time as recorded, it will be playing you think time as recorded. But can you notice that it might take a variable amount of time. It might take a variable amount of time for every steps. What do you mean by variable amount of time? Let's say this step it might take 20 seconds, but this step it might take 10 seconds for you to select something and move forward, right? Let's say we are selecting this one. So it might take a variable amount of time, and finally here this one might take 30 seconds to fill up, right? So depending on step, the time is not uniform. The time might be a variable. Some step might take 10 seconds, some step might take 5 seconds, some step might take 15 seconds, some step might take 20 seconds. So depending on the step, every step is taking a different amount of time. So that's why, to make it more realistic, from the runtime settings, we do not select replay think time as recorded, right? What do we do? We select a random. So what it will do, let's say if you put 20 seconds in your think time, right, in the script, if you select, let's say 50% to 150%, it will be a random value from 50% to 150%. So let's say if it is 50%, then in your script, if you have 20 seconds, 50% means it will be waiting 10 seconds, right? If you in your script, if you have, let's say 20 seconds, and then here if the random value is 150, then it will be 30 seconds, right? So let me show you how it is affecting if you select random think time, right? If you select random think time, if you execute the same script, right, what I'm going to do to show you this action, I'm going to remove all of this breakpoint. Do you know how to remove all of the breakpoint? Guys, do you know how to remove all of the breakpoints from your script? Okay, so what do? You go to view and then you go to debug. Where is your debug?
It's only down. Only down.
Yeah. Debug, and can you see breakpoints? Click on it. Now can you see you have two breakpoints in your script? Normally if you have a very big script, when you are creating the script, you put lot of breakpoint, and then to remove all of the breakpoint manually is sometimes, you know, it becomes a little bit hard. So what you do, you double click on it and then remove your breakpoint. You double click on it and then remove your breakpoints, and then finally take a look. What is the question?
Can you remove all of them together in one click?
No, you cannot remove all of the think time.
Manually, you need to go by one time.
You gotta find it and do one by one.
Yeah. Now let me execute it. And what is the think time pattern that we have selected this time?
50 to 150.
50 to 150. 50 to 150, right?
Right.
And we have 10 seconds here. So what is the, let's say, what is the, it could be 50%, anything in between 50% to 50% to 150%. Let's say it has selected 125%. Then what will be the 125% for this 10? Right?
12.5 seconds.
12.5
seconds. 12.5 seconds.
Right, 12.5 seconds. What will be the 130% of this 10 seconds?
13 seconds. But we limit it 2 anyway, so it doesn't work right.
So let's say it will be, what I'm trying to say here, let's say it has selected 70%. What will be the 70% of 10 seconds?
7 seconds.
70% will be 7 seconds. What will be the let's say 60% of 10 seconds?
5 seconds.
60%.
60% is 6.
What will be the, let's say 140% of 10 seconds? 14 seconds, right? So you will see if you select this think time, right? If you select this think time, find all, and then you have how many think time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 5 think time, you will see it will be different amount of time for every step. Now let me show you step by step. Let me put breakpoint in this think time directly, and then let me put breakpoint in this think time, and then let me put breakpoint in this think time, and let me put breakpoint here as well, and let me put breakpoint here as well. Now if you yeah,
this question, because I know what you explained, but also we had another configuration of no more than 2 seconds. So eventually, isn't it like, because we calculate 50 to 150, every single one is coming more than 2 seconds.
See here,
In that case, isn't it gonna
here, Shahid bhai, here if you select this option, then it will take priority over all of the settings. If you do not select it,
then it is 50.
then it will be 50 to 150. Yeah.
Right.
Now let me execute it. I am trying to show you how this 50 to 150 affect your script.
How does it really practically work?
Yeah. So now can you see when I am executing line number 28, right? Can you see it is waiting 13.64? That means it has selected a random. It has selected a random amount of, if you take a look here, if you scroll, it is showing us that recorded think time was 10 seconds, but as we have selected 50% to 150%, it is selecting a value randomly in between 50% to 150%. Now let me move forward. You will see the first think time was 13.64. Now if I execute this line, you will see a different number. Can you see now it is 12.56? It is selecting a random value. Now every time, whenever it is getting a think time, it will be randomized. It will not be a fixed value. Now if you see, if I execute this line, can you see now it is 5.91? That means it is executing nearly less than 60%. But it will not go below 50%, or it will not go above 150%. And you will see if I execute this one, it will be a different one. Right? Can you see now it is 10.98 seconds? It is executing nearly 110%. And then if you execute again, you have a think time here, right? If you execute this one, you will see it is a totally different value. Every time it will be, now it is executing nearly above, a little bit above than 80%. So in that way, so that is the way your think time setting is affecting your execution. Is this concept clear about think time?
Yes.
Let me show you another settings here. Does anybody has any question regarding think time? What is this think time doing here? Guys, do you have any question on this think time issue?
Thinking is very clear.
Okay. Now, this log, right? What does this log does? What is it? Actually, we are putting a log. We are. Can you see? He has selected extended log parameter substitution. What does this mean? What is actually it is doing? Can anyone give me any idea?
It's basically tracking everything, how the script working, and giving you the visibility to see that how is it really working.
Right.
And standard, I don't know the exact difference between standard and extended, but once we see extended, then we are checking parameter substitution. Means when it's using the parameter substitution, it's showing which parameter, what the value they're using. If you use the parameterization but check like only standard log, see what a parameterization will happen. So basically the log is group it.
Now, yeah, you are right. So if you select, can you see we have log always? So we are asking it send log or create log always, and then we are asking it create log always, and then we are asking it create extended log parameter substitution. So that means wherever you have used parameters in your script, right, wherever you have used parameters in your script, let's say you have a parameter here, right? Can you see you have a, like you have captured a parameter here, and then if you scroll down, right, you have used parameter. Can you see whatever is in that curly bracket, right? Whatever is inside this curly bracket, this is parameters. Whatever is inside this curly bracket, this is parameter. Now if you select parameter substitution, then these parameters actually they are like glass. The glass, we do not drink the glass, right? When we are drinking a cup of tea or coffee, we do not drink the glass itself. What we do, we drink the milk, we drink the liquid inside the glass. So in the script itself, we are not drinking or we are not consuming this parameter itself. What we are consuming, what we are using in the script, we are using the value inside this parameter, right? So what if you select extended log parameter substitution, what it will do, it will be showing you what is the value inside that parameter in your log. Can you see whatever we are doing from this script, actually it is keeping a trace here. So this is the log it is generating for every line. You can see that from the action, from every line, whatever it is doing, it is keeping a log. Now if you take a look, line number 34, go to line number 34. Can you see it is saying that it is starting this web submit data login dot pl underscore 2, and then if you keep scrolling, can you see that it is saying I am substituting a parameter p user id, right? I am substituting. What does this mean? I am substituting something with something else, right? Let's say you are a team lead somewhere. You are a team lead somewhere, and if your manager decide to substitute you by another team leader, then you are no longer there. Instead, someone else is there who is being substituted by you. So we are substituting. Can you see in our script we have this p user id, but we are substituting this one with this value. Does it make sense how this parameter works?
Yes.
Now, parameter substitution, extended log parameter substitution means it will be substituting all of the parameters that you have used in your script by their value, and it will be showing it in the log, right? So what does this mean? Does it mean like if you do not substitute the parameter, it will not substitute the value in the script? Does it mean that? Guys, if you do not select this extended log parameter substitution, does it mean that it will be using the parameter itself?
No, it will be using it, but it is not going to be showing to us.
Yeah, exactly, absolutely. So here, if you select this extended log parameter substitution, it will display it in the log. If you do not select this option, if you select standard log, right, if you select, can you see from line number 34, I was seeing from previous execution we had extended log parameter substitution, and we were seeing that our log is displayed here with their value. But if you select standard log, let me do another execution with standard log, and I will show you how it is affecting our, it is not affecting our execution, instead it is affecting our log. It is affecting our log. So line number 34, I am going to show you how it is affecting our line number 34. Bear with me. So now I am executing line number 34. Can you see? We didn't start at line number 34 yet. Where are we at this point? So far, yeah. No. We have finished thinking, but we have executed line number 32, but we didn't execute line number 34 yet. I am going to execute line number 34 right now. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So when I am executing line number 34, let me show you my log here. Let me make it this screen a little bit bigger so that I can show it to you. Can you bring that screen back? I cannot see that.
Not this one.
Hold on. I can see. Hold on. So this is my yeah. This is the script that I'm working. Okay. Now let's take a look here. Let me make this one now. So this one is not the right script. Let me close it. You have too many things open.
Which one is that?
Yeah, hold on. I'm bringing it back. Just I'm closing all of the things that you do not need, and then let me bring your script itself. So why you have so many things open?
No, that one is the font that I keep it for show you.
Okay, hold on. So this is my script. Let me make it full. Okay. Now, can you see we have executed line number 34 and we are in line number 51 now, but let me show you what we have from line number 34. If I scroll down here in the log, right, can you see from line number 34 we have executed line number 34 and it is not showing us any of the parameter substitution. Why? Because we have selected not to. Standard log. We have selected standard log, and because we have selected standard log, it is not showing us the detailed log. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now that is how, when you are selecting log, that is how it is affecting your script. Now let me go back to my runtime settings. So we will select, always we will select extended log, parameter substitution, and sometimes when you troubleshoot you might need to select advanced trace data returned by server. When your script is failing, you cannot figure out why it is doing that, but this is another case, we will not go that much deep here. Now let me bring you, can you see log when, like we are asking select log always, but we have another option, as you can see, log when error occurs and limit log cache, right? Now if you select this one, we are asking log when error occurs and limit log cache to 1 kilobyte. Now you will see, if I select this one, how it affect my script, how it affect my log. Can you see there is no log at all?
Because there is no error.
No, there is no error. In this case, it will be keeping log only if there is a error. If there is no error, it is not going to generate any log. Right? Can you see it is not generating any log? It is executing our script, but it is not generating any log in the output window, because we have selected generate log only if there is a error. Now
It makes them wrong and we get them wrong. It makes them wrong with error.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, let me do that, but before that let me. So now can you see it is taking too long for executing your script?
Yes.
Now when you are developing your script, I mean when you are creating your script, you are not executing. If you have a think time like this, then it will kill lot of your time, because you do not need to wait that long, because you are developing the script. So in this situation, what you want to do, from the runtime settings, you go there. From the runtime settings, you go to think time again, and can you see here? You keep whatever it is, but while developing, limit think time to 1 second, so that it doesn't keep us waiting for unnecessary time. We do not need it at this point. So now I'm going to make it 1 second. Can you change this time? I cannot actually do it.
I can do it.
You cannot do this too?
No.
Click inside, just click inside.
Yeah, I did.
Double click.
I think. Okay, yeah, where I go?
Okay, no problem. Hold on, brother. So I'm selecting this, I'm unchecking this, I'm checking this back. Now if I go there inside, Alright, so normally you should be able to change this time, but somehow we have to probably restart this fusion. But so now it will not be waiting 10 second, 15 second, instead it will be waiting 2 second only. And in the script I am going to make a mistake, and before that I am going to remove all of the think time, because actually I am going to remove all of the breakpoint, because these breakpoints are also another annoying thing. Now here the mistake that I am going to make, right? If you let me click on here and let me go to the login. Let's say I'm going to, instead of welcome, I'm going to ask it to do.
No, did you see this number 39 is the password? It should be removed or stay here? The number 39 is the right side is the password. That should be removed, right?
No. Your password should be there, because your password is coming from your. That is totally fine.
No, yeah, that one.
Yeah, that is totally fine.
Okay.
Now, what I am going to do, I am going to make a, like, it seems we have.
Welcome one, because if you put one letter wrong, it is gonna work. No error.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, but it was not allowing me to change the script. I'm trying to see why it is not doing that. I think you need to restart your application, but it is creating issue.
Yeah.
So you have lot of things open. Let me close all of this. Okay, now if I go to this views in, and this is the script probably I was modifying. And where are you creating all of this script? Is it in the default location?
Yeah, Papa says if you go over there, you see the file here.
Oh, okay, alright. Now can you see, instead of welcome, I'm going to make it. Is it not allowing me to change anything in the script?
So you can go original Papa says file.
One minute. So what I'm going to do, let me go to runtime settings and log. So runtime selection log 1 KB, log, let's say 20 KB. Oh, I cannot change anything.
Money needs to change the computer.
Alright, so let me close this. Let me close this application, and
you see the file, you can go over here. The file is everything is there. Oh. Yeah, that one is right. Performances, see, performances, yeah. Let's go down.
see this idx.idx folder. Whenever you get chance, you can delete those idx. They sometimes create issue.
IDX, okay. All of them?
Yeah, all of the idx. No, it seems like you need to restart your computer, Munir bhai. It is not responding.
Oh, it's going stuck?
Hold on.
Oh yeah, but it is not,
It is not responding properly. You need to restart your computer. One second. Hold on.
So you are not okay with it.
See, it has created copy of. Alright, can you do me a favor, Munir? Can you restart your computer? It has become unresponsive.
Okay.
So when you are restarting, you will have to join back. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Restart the computer and join back to the session now. Let me move forward with the further discussion. So who was able to finish all the works that you supposed to?
Is Tolabhai,
Mm-hmm.
can you do today one more time is for result, prepare the result?
Which one?
Prepare the result after done everything.
Prepare the result means you want me to show it again?
Yes, please.
So
Whatever is I have, what here, when you get the time.
hold on. So what do you want me to show? Can you ask
Like
that?
how you do like what is like a PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Result, this show the prepare the result on the PowerPoint.
Oh, how do you prepare PowerPoint? You mean this?
Right, please.
Okay. So we will try to discuss PowerPoint, but I will, if I cannot discuss it, I will send you the video there where we have prepared the PowerPoint. You can watch it over there, but I will try to go through the PowerPoint. Now, can you restart your computer? In the meantime, I'm trying to see like where everyone is. Guys, I got homework from only one guy, Abdul. Other than that, who was able to finish their homework? Let me.
Yes, alright.
Alright. Now, I'm trying to show you something in your analysis. In this script, you have a rendezvous point before click on flights. Now, what is your understanding from this graph about the response time? Can you see the first transaction open application? If you click on this transaction, click on it. Now, can you see that in the graph corresponding line is thicker now? From the graph, can you identify which transaction, which line is representing this open application? This one, right? This one. How? Because it is color code and it has become thicker. Now can you see this transaction pretty much like it has a pattern. Till 40 seconds it was rendezvous point. After 40 seconds when the rendezvous point kicked off, we saw a little bit higher, but it has a pattern. Now if you click on login, now can you see this login have the same pattern? Now if you click on flights, right, why these flights? Can you see for the flights from the graph? You can see if you take a look here, this vertical line, average response time, our average response time, can you see 1.8 second, or it is higher than 1.8 second, nearly 2 second average response time. For this, let's say for this open application, you click here, for this open application you can see our average response time is 0.561, right? But for this, if you click on the flights, you can see our average response time is 1.902 because it is higher. And can you see it is higher than all of the things. By seeing this graph, we are getting a clear picture what is happening. Is it understandable, everyone?
Yeah, because the heading per second is too high there, so that's why the response time is too high.
response time is too high. Response time is too high because hit per second were higher, because all of the users were hitting the transaction at the same time, and then its response time is higher. So can you see how load is affecting the response time?
How what?
How your applied load is affecting the response time?
Right, right.
Does it make more sense than just understanding the theory?
That's right.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Alright, so now can you go back to the report? Let me see what you have, what else you have in your report. I want you to go back to your PowerPoint report.
Yes.
Okay, we discussed transaction response time. Go for the next slide if you have any on. Now, resources average response time. What is that? So, Windows resource average response time.
Yes. This one I connect my local host and I'm monitoring the
You have connected your local host.
monitoring the like CPU uses.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Now,
So and I must two graphs.
uh-huh. Which graph you have merged? Click on flights, right?
Yeah, click on flights and CPU uses.
So we can, from the graph we can clearly see. From the graph we can clearly see that hey guys, can you hear me?
How busy the CPU was at the time of that particular transaction, which one is high hit point or taking response time more.
So it is affecting the CPU directly, right?
Right.
Everyone, are you on?
But probably that is the problem, right? I mean, if, in order to solve this thing, so we need to increase the ability of the CPU. Is that right?
So like if we are testing this only by 10 users, right? With 10 users, I know we are using the virtual machine or we are using the local computer for executing, right? Even with 10 users, can you see CPU is hitting more than 95%? Can you see? Even with 10 users, when you are clicking flights with 10 users at the same time, can you see where the CPU, can you see resource users? It is 95% or more than 95%. From the graph, can you see the vertical bar is pointing how much CPU it was consuming when we were using that rendezvous point. Can you see that? Everyone, I want answer.
So why do you see that? Yes, can you close that?
Huh? What is the question?
Go ahead.
Huh? What is the question, Munir bhai, again?
Yeah, I'm asking why do you see those things?
Why do we see this thing? Very clear answer. See, 10 users when they are trying to click on flights or clicking on flights, we are executing this application is hosted where? This application is hosted in the local computer, right?
Local.
This local computer doesn't have that much capability to handle that many users, so that's why its CPU is consumed. Like we all know that when this application is running, when all of the users are trying to click on that CPU flights, actually the operation is being performed by the CPU. So CPU ultimately has to calculate how it is going to click on flights, right? So CPU is struggling here to handle the 10 user at a time, because how we know it is struggling? I can see CPU usage is 95% or more than 95%. So if you see CPU uses more than 80%, then you are going to recommend CPU users with 10 users is too high. Application can crash anytime. If we use, let's say if we can use it 20 users, probably this local machine will not able to handle that many load. You understand, everyone? So what do you do if you? Yeah, go ahead.
95%. Usually 95%. In the left side, the resource uses 95%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So if you see CPU uses more than 75% or 80%, you are going to report it. Hey guys, CPU usage is too high, and this too high CPU uses, the application can crash anytime.
So why this click on site is so high?
Yeah, that is what we are discussing, because we have a rendezvous point before clicking on flight, and before clicking on flight all of the users are waiting there, and then when all of the users reaches that point, they all together click on that flight at a time. That is creating that extra pressure on the CPU. So what happens? Let me answer this question in this direction. So what happens in Malta, in Atlanta, in Malta, when office closes, or in the morning when all the people go to office, how pressure you see in Malta? High pressure. Malta, like there is no place to sit. I was working in San Francisco. Let me give you an example. Try to follow this example. So in San Francisco, like people, you will see everyone is IT worker. There are some people who support, like there are some restaurants where people work to serve this IT guy. Now when you are going to office in the morning, you will see there is no, over there it is BART system, BART. So in the BART system, you will see in the morning there is no place, and at 5 o'clock when offices close, you will see, man, you cannot get into even in the train. There is that much pressure. So what does this mean? These people who are riding the Malta or BART system, they are concurrent user. If concurrent user increase, then this BART system choke. This BART system cannot handle that many people. So this BART system get higher uses. They have no place to accommodate anymore. So when all of these 10 people at a time, when let's say 10 people, these people, if they travel throughout the day, not at the same time at 5 o'clock, let's say some people, their office finishes at 11. Some people, their office finishes at 12. There are some group of people whose office finishes at 1. So then there will be no that much pressure. But when all of the people at a time try to ride into Malta or BART, then that BART system is choking. It uses is 95% or in some cases 100%. So what is happening here, when all of these 8 people trying to click together at flights, our CPU system, over there it is BART system, here our CPU system who handle this load, it is choking. Does it make sense? Overloaded. And why we are clicking at the same time? Why it is happening? Because we have set up a rendezvous point. If you understand what is rendezvous point, on that rendezvous point, before clicking flight, we have set up a point, right? When we are, let's say, I told you guys, so if we will be going for a run in the field, let's say around 12 o'clock. Can you meet on that park at 11:50? So what you will guys, let's say our marathon will be started exactly at 12, but before 12 all of the guys you are gathering on that particular park. So 12 o'clock when we are running in the track, that track is, let's say we have a track over there to run. So if 20 over there parallelly 10 people can run. So when all the 10 people are running, right, that people, only 10 people can run parallelly. If you make 12 people, then there might be collision, right? So that is what happening here. We are asking, come here, there is a rendezvous point, stop here, and when all of the users are reaching at that point, then click on flights. That's why this flight is, response time is higher, and over there CPU is higher. Does it make sense, guys? Okay. So this is a very good example that Mathapa you have prepared. I appreciate that you did it, and that is what I was looking for. You do whatever I did in the class, and you did it. Yeah. Do you have any other slide?
Yes, this is.
Yes, you are right. You have written like the right thing. CPU uses over 80%, but we saw it is over 90%. Okay, CPU uses is very high. Yeah, go for the next slide. One second, guys. Let me. Okay, now here observation and recommendation. I know you have a section. Now you have prepared this rendezvous point slide. Now do you have the other scripts?
I think that's it. No more.
Okay, alright. So yeah, I'm good with your work, except I recommend some of the changes. Now let me see what is the problem Shahid Bhai is having. Let me make you presenter, Shahid Bhai.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see your screen now. Okay, what is the problem that you are having?
Why this error was coming? And the second thing, I could not find my script in the user separately.
Okay, first of all, let's go one by one. Give me also, let me request control. Okay, the first question, right? The first question, why these errors are happening? Right? This is the first.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. And
So this is the first question.
On your own, you can see. You will see.
I know I did it, but it didn't make sense to me.
Hold on. So your first question is why these errors?
Let me add one more thing so maybe you can answer together. If you look at that transaction, the number 1, number 2, number 4, then number 3. So it seems to me there is another error there that I don't understand.
Oh, the name, right? The name is, can you see? Yeah, the name, the problem here is, can you see your TC is lowercase?
Oh, it's
Because of this lowercase probably, or you can organize it. You can click on name, then it will organize it.
okay.
Okay. Now,
Probably.
yeah. Now, what is this error? You can see this error by clicking. But before I go to this error, is it failing any of your transactions?
No.
It is not failing any of your transactions. That means nothing wrong with your script. So if your transactions are not failing, nothing wrong with your script. But let me see what is this error. So if you click here, you will see all of them are CPU related. Right? One is error occurs if you double click here. You will see error occurred while trying to call third-party license component. So this is something we are using trial version, right? So we are not worried about the license issue. Next error. So if you click here, can you see P user ID in table, right? Can you read what it is saying?
Insufficient records for parameter user ID in table to provide the user with unit. Oh.
Not enough data.
Right, hold on. So it is what it is saying, insufficient records for parameters P user ID, right? Now be more specific. Is it telling you what is that script?
Right. I think in parameterization I click unique.
Hold on.
Then I have to pick a random one.
Hold on. Do not take the blame on you. I'm trying to go a little bit deeper. Do not take the blame. So what I'm trying to say, what is that message saying? Insufficient records for parameter P user ID in table. So it is specifically saying you have insufficient parameter in P user ID. Right. Now that means there is a problem in parameter setup, right?
Right.
Now you have multiple. How many script? You have one script, right?
One this time.
Yeah. Now if you can you see total messages? Can you see total messages? Can you see here total messages? How many? You have 8 total messages here. Click on it. 8 total messages.
Yeah.
Click on it. 8 total messages. And can you see it was, it is trying. It is saying that you have insufficient parameter. Now, what does this mean? Let's say you have 10. How many virtual users in that script? How many virtual users? 10. How many virtual users? 10. But it is saying
Yes.
if you select unique parameter, so for this 10 virtual users, you will need at least how many users in the script? 10. So if you have 10 driver, if you want to give each of the driver a separate car, how many car you will need? 10. So if you have 9 car, 10 driver, or if you have 10 driver, 9 car, one of the driver will be left out, right? One of the driver will be left out. Is that clear? Now that is what happening here. When you are executing, how many V users you have? 10. Now in your script, can you see here V user 10, V user, can you see this 17 up to 16, 17, they are having trouble. Let me show you what does this mean. First of all, we saw a license error, and then we are seeing V user 10 was not able to get a user, V user 11 was not able to get a user, V user up to 17 they were not able to get a user. Now I am showing you something. Let me close it and let me go back to your design. In your design, let me bring.
Are you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording. Let me bring your script. Let me bring your script.
That's the problem. I could not bring myself.
Let me see. You could not bring yourself because probably there were some issue, but I will tell you what was the issue.
And I'm going to separately view that I don't even find it.
Because you are not saving it, you don't know where you are saving it. Okay, I'll go through this problem, but before that let me bring your script and then I'll see what is the issue.
Sure.
Now if I go there,
Not there.
okay, hold on, let me close this and then
I think there's one more view is there.
hold on, one more view user, let me close this one as well. Okay, this is your script.
Yeah.
Now this is your script. Let me bring your solution explorer and let me click here. This is your script that you are executing, right?
Right.
Now you got it.
Yeah, thank you.
But let me tell you why you are not getting it. Let me close it. So if you click, if your this line is not selected, and if you try to bring your script, you will not be able to bring it. So to bring the script, what you will have to do, you will have to then you have to click on it.
Okay.
Now
Basically, you know, filling some multiple script, which one you want to see, you have to highlight that one.
highlight that one exactly. Now let me go to your parameter setup and let me see what was the, you have unique each iteration and
That's the
and let me see how many users edit with notepad, and then you come here. Can you see? Remember, I told you many times you will have to keep an empty line here, right?
Yeah.
Do you have empty line here?
No, I don't think so.
So that's why one of the user were not able to get the. Now I am putting empty line. Can you see what I am doing?
Okay. So
Then
in other words, Samabayu, entry line means if you save it, we gotta make sure that comes to the last line.
yeah.
Okay. I think that's what I don't pay attention at all.
Yeah, so you'll have to have an empty line and then you save it, save, and then let me refresh the script. How do I, oh actually, hold on, before I do that, let me DL the matter over there. Now unique, now you have this everything set up here. Let me click close. Now
Is that gonna be still unique?
yeah, it will be still unique. Now let me quickly take a look. You have, can you see this average find? You didn't change it, right? This average find you didn't change. Web tools navigation bar, you have a custom here, that is fine. And then you have the login, and then you have the, so where is your rendezvous point? This is your rendezvous point, right?
Right.
So Munir bhai, for your understanding, can you see here, before we start clicking on flights, can you see this rendezvous point in 101? So all of the users will be coming here and they will be waiting to get 10 users. So our rendezvous point setup, we have set up 10 users. So they will be coming here. When all of the 10 users will be reaching here, then they will go and click on flights at a time together. So that's why we were seeing higher load in this point. Now if you keep going and finally you have sign up, so everything looks good to me. I'm going to save it and then I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to refresh the script.
Right.
And then I'm going to click OK. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to check. Before I do that, let me see what is your result settings. I want to, is this your result, brother? No, this is your controller. So I'm going to open your results before I because you already have an execution. I want to see how was that result. I want to see something from there. So I'm going to go to result, analyze result. So it will analyze the result for the last execution, right?
Right.
So I'm curious to see something in your result. Guys, are you guys enjoying this session, or it is appearing boring?
We are enjoying.
If you understand, then you will enjoy. If you are not in the same pace with the class, then it will be trouble. Now I'm trying to see maximum running V users. You have 2. Probably this is not the right execution. Okay, so let me do this execution. I can see some unnecessary lines here as well. Okay, so let's see. I'm not getting any meaningful data from there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the, probably there will be a virtual location. What is it? Hold on. Okay. Now I'm going to do a result settings.
The place is right. The directory is right.
Okay.
Name is right too, I think.
Now I'm going to execute, like I'm going to start 2 views every 10 seconds, and if you say run until completion, let me see what do you have in your runtime settings. Run logic, you have 5 iterations, so that means each of the V user will be executing 5 iterations. Then you have 5 times, yeah. You have pacing fixed 2 seconds. In your log, you have always parameter substitution. In your think time, you have limit think time to 2 seconds. That is fine. In your miscellaneous, generate snapshot. Yeah, that is what I like. And in your preferences, yeah, you have the right setup, right? So when you are saying run until completion, you say how many iterations you want. But when you say run for 2 minutes or 5 minutes, then you set up this iteration to 1. When you say run for 5 minutes, you set up this iteration to 1.
I want iteration.
How many you want?
1, yeah. Now click OK. Now let's do an execution quickly. 5 iteration, right? I'm going to do an execution to see how it goes. I'm seeing some error. I'll be looking at this error, but before
I think that's the license issue.
yeah, let's see.
There is only one.
Let's see. Can you see your two of the users are going up actually because of the rendezvous point, but some of the users, can you see your users, only 2 users are able to execute, not more than 2. Only 2 users are executing, the remaining users are not able to execute. So we have to figure out why the remaining users are not able to execute. So if I click on this error, so it is showing insufficient records for P user ID table. So it is actually counting only 2 users are able to get the data. The remaining users, the reason here, Shahid bhai, the reason here, if two user execute 5 iteration, how many iteration it becomes? 10. So if you select unique parameter, then after that, do you have any unique parameter? Because when they execute 10 times, then all of the 10 users is used, right?
That's what I was asking you, that the unit needs to be changed, or maybe you have to put more number.
Yeah, last time you had the same problem. Remember? So that unique, if you select unique, I told you last time, you will have to provide enough user. You will have to put, so 10 users will be executing 50 iteration, you will have to put 50 users. But if you do not have 50 users, you will have to do another thing. What is that thing?
In the configuration there is from unit to what? Cyclic order, cyclic method.
Unit to sequential. Go in from unit to sequential.
Yeah.
Then your problem will be solved, right?
Right.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to make sure that your problem is solved now. If I go there, parameter, I'm going to select
Next
sequential. Each iteration. Now click close and click save and close this and then go to the runtime settings. Actually, before I go to the runtime settings, I don't have anything to do there. What I'll have to do, I'll have to refresh the script.
refresh.
Now let me execute it. Results directory, yes, I want to remove that results directory. Let me execute it now.
License issue. So
Yeah.
why do I have only the license issue, not other?
License issue, yeah. License issue we do not have any control because it is a trial version. I'm not worried about it.
No, but I'm saying, why do I have only that problem?
So this
Does everybody has this problem, license issue?
error occurred while trying call third-party license. We are not worried about this error. This is not affecting our execution.
Okay. We're
So-
not sorry.
So here now, can you see when it is reaching 10 in the rendezvous point, when it is reaching 10, then it is clicking all of the. So what is your rendezvous point setup? Is it 10 or 8?
I think 8. No.
10?
I think.
Yeah.
I think it's 10.
I'll check it. What is the rendezvous setup? But let it finish execution. It will be done.
Running. be
Uh,
together run, right?
no, I'll be.
What?
Give me a second. I'll let you know what is happening here. So it is nearly done. So your rendezvous point is, I cannot see it right now, but let me finish
No
it.
policy, what happened?
Yeah, policy will be available when execution is done.
Oh, I see. Finish. No, it's still running.
Still running. Let me stop recording, playing. Okay, now let me go to your rendezvous point. So if you go to your policy now, you have asked release when 8. So that means when it will be reaching 8, then it will be releasing.
Right, right.
Okay, so that was the issue with you.
But that is not really wrong. It's a question of policy, right?
Which one? No, policy is fine. There is no problem with policy, but your problem, you are seeing this error because of the user setup. You do not have enough users and you are trying to run with unique users.
So it has to be sequential, or I have to give at least 50.
At least 50, because if you execute 50 iteration, if you select unique, you will have to provide 50 unique users.
Right.
Now, do you have any other question, Shadbhai?
No. I'll let her run it. Inshallah, myself.
And you have you have added the local host, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, what about your?
Any other problem?
No, I am not seeing any other problem. Now, what about your interview questions? I sent you 10 interview questions. What is your status on it?
We're gonna get the job, inshallah. You can ask the question.
So, can I go through the interview questions now with a couple of you, like if you are prepared?
Yes. I mean, not really. I didn't mean that, but you can go.
Okay. Who like, I want to ask you a question. What is the performance testing process is followed in your organization? Who can answer this question?
I can try.
Yeah, go ahead.
In our, I mean, in our place there are multiple applications.
So the next question, when and why do you do load and performance testing? Can anyone answer this question? I know that we do performance testing on the application, but at what situation, or what is the time, or when is the time that performance testing happens on an application?
Okay, we start load testing and performance testing after the user interface testing has done, like user interface testing is done.
Right. So when and why? The question was when and why. Let me answer this question. We perform load testing once we are done with interface or GUI testing. Okay. Modern system architectures are large and complex, whereas single user testing primarily focusing on functionality and user interface of a system component. Performance testing, when you do single user functional testing, right, it focuses on component if the component are working, but performance testing focuses on performance and reliability of an entire system. For example, a typical application testing scenario might depict X, for example 1000 users logging in simultaneously to a system. This gives rise to issues such as what is the response time of the system? Does it crash? Can it hold so many hundreds and thousands of users? Etc. This is when, to verify all of these questions, right, we do load and performance testing. So it seems all of it you need to go through a lot through these questions, but it seems my session is finished as well by default. So what will be our next task in the next class? Again, whoever was not able to display their work, I am going to look into their work. I will be answering questions when I am looking into the work, and I will be taking answer of these 10 interview questions. Although I am not that much pleased, not many of you have answered the questions, probably I will send you some more questions, but at least whatever questions I am sending you, make sure you are prepared to answer those questions and you are able to answer these questions. Okay, so that will be it for our today's session. Do you guys have any question to me? Right, so if you do not have any question, I might send you some more questions, but if I send more questions, prepare on those questions. If I don't send more questions, make sure you are very good with these 10 questions, and if you are not able to show me all of the work, make sure your work is ready so that I can review your work, and then we'll move forward from there. So as you do not have any question, that is it for today. Thank you for joining. Let me know if you have any question. Other than that, we'll talk to you on coming Saturday. Thank you guys. I appreciate you join this session.
Appreciate you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.